Welcome to the Top Times podcast. We have Kyra Crooke on here. Kyra, go ahead. I'll let you introduce yourself and share some things with us.
Okay, so my name is Kaya. I go to Heritage Christian School. I am graduating this year, so class of 25. And some things about me and the track world is I am the Nike National Champion, the Adidas National Champion, both of those in the high jump. I am also the state champion my junior year in high jump as well. And then I have been All-American quite a few times in long jump and high jump at the Junior Olympic Games, both AAU and USATF.
Oh,
That's that deserves a pause. That's a big deal.
yeah,
Did
that
your hair
that's
flip too? Like that's a big deal. Um, how did track come about? How did you start the sport? And then how did you figure out that high jump for sure and long jump were those are your niche?
I started running when I was like 10, and my whole entire life I played soccer. I thought that I was going to be
Oh,
a professional soccer player. We we I played on travel teams. We traveled everywhere for that. And then I was I tried new sports all the time. I played so many. So my parents just put us in track and like a local track team in the area, and I was like 10. And I loved it. It was just fun, but I'd never high jumped. I was just running at that time. And I kept on seeing kids and I was like, I want to try that so bad. So my parents were like, whatever, we just went ahead and tried it a few years later. And I ended up being pretty good at it. And now probably I would say my eighth grade year, high jumping is probably when I knew that that was going to be what I was going to do and that soccer wasn't going to be the main focus anymore.
wow.
wow. Wow, I didn't.
Yeah, that you just started track like eighth grade, really?
Well, I high jump before, but I wasn't really taking it seriously. But I'd say seventh and eighth grade was when I was high jumping. I had Coach Vic and he was helping me out with it and stuff. Because before I was just kind of out there doing it for fun. I still wanted to be a pro soccer player, which I still do play soccer, but just for school. I don't travel like that anymore.
Oh, okay. So you're a multi-sport athlete.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's impressive because a lot of people they specialize, especially if they get good at one thing, they just kind of stay there. Now,
Mhm.
when it
Mhm.
comes to track, I know you said high jump and long jump are kind of your jam, but I've seen you run the 100. I've seen you run the 4x1. I've seen you run 300 hurdles. I've seen you do a lot of things on the track. What do
Yes.
you are you do you still plan to do those other things, or are you just kind of like trying to narrow it down?
Um, so finishing out, going into my senior year track season, I'll definitely do the 4x1 and run the 100 and stuff along with high jump and long jump. But everything is going to be high jump and long jump focused. So even though I am doing those other events, my workouts and the stuff I'm doing at practices and stuff is all going to be high jump and long jump focused because running definitely helps that. And I love running the 100 and having a 4x1 team. It's so fun. It just makes the track team so much more fun when we have relays and stuff. But for the big meet, the state meet, we'll have to see what what's gonna happen. Because I'm going for that high jump record. I'm
Yes.
going for the high jump record. And I am a little nervous to run the 100 long jump and try to do that. So we'll see.
That's
We'll
what
Okay.
being
see.
a stellar athlete. So what's the high jump record? Share that with everyone.
It is six, it is 6 feet. It is 6 feet. I'm almost positive it's 6 feet. I went for 6 feet and a half this last state meet, barely missed it. Everyone was cheering. I actually thought I made it. Everyone was cheering and one side of the bar came down. So I know I have it. I know I have it. So that is
Okay.
what I was going for. Got to do it on the day.
Nice. So is it things like that to keep you motivated from day to day when it comes to track?
Oh yeah, for sure. My goals. I know my goals and I know I can achieve them.
Well,
Okay.
So how do you, being an amazing athlete and being great at a lot of different things, training can sometimes be kind of a loner type of thing. So how do you stay motivated through your training sessions, through your practices? Things become kind of repetitive. So how do you stay motivated, and what's something you can share out with those watching, and how to push through those times where you're just like, oh, I have another practice and I'm tired, or
Yeah, so I would probably say like my parents have a track club actually called Soka Speed, and like even though track like can kind of be seen as like an individual sport, I mean you're doing like your individual events and stuff. I like seriously could not be doing what I'm doing without my teammates for real. Like them being like by me, like by my side during everything. Like even like I'm like one of the oldest on the team, and even like the little kids, like those little girls like love to watch me jump, and like they'll be sitting over there on the side like cheering for me, like, and it is so awesome to see like the little kids especially like talk to me, and like just like their words, like they don't even realize it, like when they say like that they want to try high jump because they've watched me and stuff, and like that actually just keeps me motivated to keep on getting better, because when those little girls see me compete like that, it makes them want to as well. So that's really special. And then just having like the like my teammates like that are like my age, like my friends out there, like pushing each other, like that's probably what helps me get going. And my coaches for sure are like super, super encouraging. And like when I'm having bad jump days, which happens sometimes, like having that kind of environment with like coaches that know how to get me going even on my bad days is also something that's super important to me.
All right, now you mentioned your coaches. Go ahead and shout out your coaches
yeah.
because I know one of your coaches is your dad, but go ahead and shout out the coaches and then we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so my two coaches are my dad and Coach Vic. So
What's your dad's
shout
name? Shout out to what's your dad's name?
Val, Val Crook, Val.
And what's Coach
Yeah.
Vic's last name?
Johnson.
Okay,
Yep.
just so they get their
Mhm.
proper dues.
Yes, they
Now,
got to get their kudos as well. And who coaches you at Heritage Christian?
So my dad coaches me at Heritage as well, and we got Coach Vic on the staff. So
That's
they
awesome.
both coach at school, which I love. So nice.
That's awesome.
okay,
And
so
we can't be remiss. We have to mention Mom Dukes because you said your parent.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, and what's your mom's name?
Julie Crook, my
Okay.
mom.
okay,
She
so
like runs the whole Soka Speed. I mean, she sets up all that stuff, registers all those kids, and has me and Kinsey going. So my
okay.
mom, for
So
sure.
I have two questions for you. One,
All right.
what's it like having your dad as your coach? What is that like, and where do you as an athlete go from the okay, it's me and dad now versus me and coach dad?
Yeah, so I love having my dad as a coach. We have like a really good relationship, like father-daughter relationship and like coach and athlete relationship. We just genuinely work really well together. Like I feel like I am able to, which is like a really good thing. I feel like I'm able to like take his like word and like what he's telling me to do and like apply it, just because he knows how to like say that stuff to me. And he studies high jump so hard. Like he's never high jumped before, but he studies it so hard. Like he puts so much time into like learning so much about it and like the mechanics and everything so that he can come back and teach me. So it is, I love working with my dad. Like we like so blessed to not have like any sort of like clashing problems really. So I love that. And then Coach Vic, like they work so well together too. Like they are like one like brain, which also is so nice. So it's like I'm getting like I'm not hearing like different things. Like they work so well together, which also like makes things like 10 times easier.
That's really good. That reminds me of, well, you're a high jumper, and Vashti Cunningham. Randall Cunningham is her dad, and he coaches her, which is
Mhm.
that's a great like analogy there. I mean, just how that lines up with those two. But the other
Oh,
question I have for you is, you have a little sister who's
I do.
I'm gonna say just as talented as you are. How does
I,
that work in the house where dad is coaching his two daughters and they are, they're both extremely talented? How does that play out? Especially like, in school. I know you all don't do you do a couple of the same events, but not everything.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only event that we do that is the same is long jump. So we work like with that together and we work pretty well together. I mean, I'm like really there like pushing Kenzie, which is something that's like really good to have for her. And she's like killing it in the hurdles. Shoot, she'll beat me in those, man. She is killing it. I loved like getting able to like compete with her her freshman year, my junior year. That was my first time like getting to compete with her like on a high school team where we're like on the same team and stuff. So I love that. And it works good like with my dad as well. I mean, I love that I have Kenzie that's like two athletes in the house and we like understand and like can talk about certain things and like especially because I'm older, like being able to like give her advice on like meets that she's going into that like I've already done. And like sometimes she doesn't want to hear it though. I can say sometimes she does not want to hear it and she'll be like, Kaya, just be quiet and let me. And I'm like, all right. So
I'm not.
Yes. So you were just sharing a lot of times you try to tell your sister or pump her up,
mhm,
and she's like, okay, sometimes she's here for it and other times
yeah,
she's not. And so you know how to, either
yeah.
pause or be her hype man. So for
Oh,
you, how do you mentally prepare? I mean, yet another athlete who's been on some big platforms. How do you mentally prepare to compete at that level?
before I before I step foot on the track, whether it is like the most important meet of my life or it is just a regular IYTA meet, I pray. I have the same prayer that I use the verse Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I understand that God has given me the ability to do what I can do. And every single time that I'm out there competing, I'm glorifying him. And that is like what really mentally prepares me for any meet, whether it is a huge meet or just a local meet. So that's like the biggest thing.
That's awesome.
Nice. So when you, regardless of how your turnout is, well, let's say you had a meet where it was a disappointment. How do you handle that? Those disappointments, those setbacks. Like I saw you at the state meet where you just barely missed that record. How do you deal with that in terms of like the disappointments that you've had?
I know that there are going to be meets where I'm not going to do well, but I don't let those meets define me because I know what I can do and what I'm capable of jumping. And I know that it's there. So even when I have those meets where I'm so close to a PR or like meets where I just completely just jump terrible, I know what I can do and I don't focus so much on how terrible that meet was. I just kind of push it back. I know that like I'm not gonna jump and PR every single time. So it definitely was like hard to do that for a while. I would get like really like upset when I would jump bad, but I have really just been able to understand that like that those kind of meets happen and I just have
Mhm.
to move on and move forward.
That's
Okay.
that's that's great. I think a lot of athletes need to think in that way. Um, how do you feel being an athlete has shaped who you are? You talked about how a lot of your teammates look up to you and you all motivate each other. So how do you think that shaped you to be who you are?
I mean like it's what I do. So I put forth so much effort into it and it's really just like how people can see like how people see me like in the sport. Like I want people to see someone that's like happy, someone that's like rooting for others and not just like all for myself. I love like I'm not one of those people that will like completely like laser focus in and like not talk to anybody and like don't want anyone like near me when I'm competing. Like I love to talk to like the other girls out there, like people from my team. I love when they come up and like watch and stuff. Like I've met so many cool people from like talking to like the girls I'm competing against. So I just kind of like to be, I don't want people to be like, oh, she's scary. I wouldn't want to talk to her. I like people to like be able to like come up and like talk to me and stuff, like because I play sports and think that that's like a thing to do.
Yes. I think that shows how humble you are. And that is a great characteristic for you to have. And so I see it at meets and how you rally not only around um, people on your team, but others as you know, want them to be as successful as well. So that's a amazing characteristic to have in the sport for sure.
Definitely, definitely. Now, because it's still a sport, it's still a competition. How do you define success when it comes to what you're dealing with track and field?
So, like I said, I know there's going to be meets where I don't do well, but like as a season, like for a season in a whole, like as long as I feel like I'm getting better, I think that that is a successful season. Even if I'm not like, say like I don't get a PR that season, like if I'm getting closer and like for high jump specifically, like I am like such a power jumper. And like although I have the ideal form, like going over the bar, like there's so many things that need to be changed and fixed. And like just being able to like tweak those little things, like even if I'm not jumping any higher, like I'm getting better and I know I'm getting better. And that's how I would say like would be successful.
Okay.
How do you celebrate that success? You know, you just had an amazing meet, you won a gold medal. How do you celebrate that? What's your go-to?
Wingstop, Wingstop.
Okay. Mhm, mhm. What's your favorite flavor? Do you mix it up a little bit? Is it something
Oh
that you
yeah.
need to
Oh
share
yeah.
with people that they need to try?
Okay, yes. I get the six piece, like the regular, like bone-in wings, all flats.
Oh, flat girl.
And then
Okay.
I do half lemon pepper and half original hot. We have a team. Oh my goodness, I don't even know how many times after school meets we went to Wingstop as a team. That was our go-to thing.
I love it.
That's how
Not
I
too hard to
celebrate.
please either. Not too hard to please. It's not just saying, you know, you're trying to go to Ruth Chris and get a filet. Inside. I love it.
Wow. Okay. Well, it could have been worse. I had somebody who was like, "I go to McDonald's." Well, and me, I'm that's just me though. I'm like into the whole nutrition thing and how all
Yeah.
that works. I'm always a fan of having something green on your plate, as you know. Um,
Celery. Do you have the celery on there?
no, look, she doesn't even know. No celery, none of that. Oh
I'm
wow.
not a fan of celery.
You say you do? You're not a fan? I'm
Uh-uh.
not a fan of
I
anything
tried to
green,
help.
are you?
I tried to help with the green.
Wow. Okay.
Oh
So,
my.
like, well, speaking of health stuff, how do you keep yourself together? Like physically, how do you keep yourself together? I know Wingstop's not fueling everything, but so what is it for you that you do? Like, what's your routine to keep you physically and mentally healthy throughout the season, both all your seasons?
That's definitely something I need to get better at. I like from like a workout standpoint, like I do pretty well with that. Like I have like the routine, like go to practice, like do like the weights thing. Like I have like a good routine. Eating wise, I need to work on that. I have like I don't eat terrible. Like don't get me wrong. Like it is not like horrible, but like I should definitely eat a little bit better than I do. Kenzie helps me. Kenzie does not drink soda.
Okay.
Kenzie does not eat like any all the stuff we have in like our pantry like that she buys is all like really healthy. Like
Um,
Kenzie is the one like she helps me. She'll be like, Kai, do not no. Like she is the one that will like keep us all on track with like eating healthy and stuff. Like that's her like huge thing. I definitely need to get better at that. But like when my dad cooks and stuff, love that. Love that. But like I have my driver's license now, so like
Okay. So now you're gonna be going to Wingstop
yeah.
nonstop.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So Kai, tell us what track and field, the time and effort you put into practice, your academics. How have you balanced being an athlete as well as being a student?
hmm So yeah, it's like hard for me to know like school comes first.
Hmm.
Like school comes first always. And like school is something that does not come very easily to me. Like I have to work very hard. I have to always just remember that school comes first. Like that's like the biggest thing I have to remember because in my head, like I just want to go, I'd rather go out to the track than like finish my homework and stuff. But I just have like I have my little agenda. I know what I need to get done before I start doing this. Um, I have tutors. I have like different people around me to help me. So that's like what's the biggest thing is like having like people around to help because once I'm able to like get all my stuff done, then it's time to go work hard out on the track, even when it's hard sometimes. So I try to work really hard in school, get all my stuff done for the most part before I'm out there. But it is hard. It is hard to manage, but agenda is really a thing. That thing
Mhm.
me on track.
So what's the agenda? Share that because that's something maybe some other athletes could use. What's the agenda?
I got my little it's like a little calendar. It's like in a booklet. Tried doing it on my phone. That no, I need to have it. I need to have it all written down. So like after each class, write down all the stuff I have to do for like the whole entire week so I know. And if I don't get all that stuff done, then I'm not going to go out and hang out with my friends and stuff for the day. Just have to get my stuff done even when I don't want to. I take a lot of study halls at school like to give me time, which is also a necessity because when I'm having practice every single day, like a study hall is definitely something I need. So just making sure that I'm focused in that study hall, getting my stuff done, and then I'm out there ready to compete and to train.
Awesome. Do you feel you've had to make any sacrifices for the sport? Balancing your school schedule is one thing, but is there anything else you feel you've had to sacrifice?
Um, yeah, I mean, kind of. Like there's definitely times where I get to hang out with my friends, but there's also like we travel a lot and stuff.
Hmm.
There's a lot of stuff I am missing going through like the recruiting process and stuff right now,
Hmm.
getting visits scheduled. Like I have a lot of like school events that I'm missing, like just stuff like that. I would probably say, but like nothing too like crazy. Like my like closest friends like around me, they understand like my goals and like what I want to do and like what I want to work towards. So it's nothing like they all understand that and they're like out there like supporting me and stuff. And like when I don't have practice and we're like out there ready to hang out. But like there's been so many times where I've had to be like, sorry guys, I can't like
Yes.
do this,
Yeah.
can't do that. But definitely these visits scheduled, like missing like this school, like a lot of school events and stuff, like that's definitely kind of a bummer, but
Yeah. So a follow-up to that is how important is it to be mindful of who you have around you? You mentioned your parents are very supportive. They're in the sport, they coach. It sounds like you have some very positive friends around you who get it. How important is that to your success? So, how important is it even for other athletes to be careful who they surround themselves with because they know what their end game is and what their goals are?
it's extremely important because it like if you have people around you that are gonna like kind of like nag you about like a bunch of different like things like no matter what it is like that can be so stressful but like having like the people around you that like want to see you win like want to see you like do awesome things then like that is just like so stress free like whether it's like your friends and like your family around you like just having people around you who want to see you succeed is amazing and then being that person as well like that's probably like the most important thing for me. Like I try my hardest to surround myself and I do have the best friends, family, and teammates that are like out there like wanting to see me succeed and I am the same way. Like I want to see my teammates succeed and be like that like safe person with them as well.
Yeah, that's like, really good advice for a lot of athletes because a lot of them miss that boat, and I've
Yes,
seen it. Like, people around them, like they're not helping you. You have
Yeah.
to. Can you move this the other direction with some other
yes,
people who are at least trying to do something good?
right,
So many
right.
people miss that boat. Um,
Hmm.
you were talking about, your goals and everything in terms of what you want to do with your sport. What do you see in terms of with track and field? What are your short term, what are long term goals in terms of what you want to get out of the sport?
Yeah, so like my goals for jumping, like high jump, I want to hit 6'1". I want to hit 6'1" this coming season. I want to jump 20 feet this coming season. I want to win a state championship in both the high jump and the long jump this season. Um, I'm going for the record in both of those events actually. I'm not quite sure what the long jump one is, but we talked about the high jump. And then like long-term goals, like I am going like I want to get to like that next Olympics. Like in the next 4 years, like I want to be high jumping at the next Olympics. That's like the biggest goal I have for myself right now. So everything like I do is going to be working towards that goal.
All right. Now, okay, I have to say this. So, I used to do this podcast before. Something similar, not quite like this, but something similar. And the last person that I had on the podcast was Lena Irby. She mentioned that she wanted to be in the Olympics. In 2020, which was really 21, she ran in the Olympics. She was.
Okay, so
I know. I'm just saying, if you
there
put
we
it,
go.
if you put it out there,
Yeah.
the universe has a way to bring it back to you.
Oh yeah.
Because it's out there and that energy's there. So I'll plan on being in LA in
Yes,
28. I'll
yes,
make those plans now since we
literally.
already put
Yes,
that
do
out
it.
there. Yeah. And
Speaking
then,
into existence for sure.
yes, and I can come out there as your chiropractor. Uh,
Yes.
tell me about
Yes.
that experience.
Yes. I love it. It's been so helpful. Like seriously, like I came in first time just because my like the back of my knee, I did not know what was wrong. It was hurting. Literally, how many times I come? Like three, I was good to go. I was good to go. We had to do some needling. That was he knows. I literally I had like I was so scared. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but I was so scared. He was laughing at me. He was like, it is not that bad. But we did it. It's been so good. My little sister goes as well now. And it's just seriously been so helpful. It's just like as an athlete, I think that's something that you definitely need. And
Mhm. Did
because
you have any preconceived notions about going to see a chiropractor prior to going to see Coach/Dr. Ware?
um I had never been before really. So that was like my first time. We One of our friends goes there as well. So
Mhm.
we
Mm,
all go together. Me, Mason,
okay,
and Kitsy all go together. So
nice, nice.
All right. Well, Kaya, we appreciate you being on here.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for sharing your time with us. If people want to follow you or keep up with you in terms of, because this is going out everywhere, how do they keep up with you? Is it
okay, my
Instagram or
yeah.
I guess X or whatever, Twitter now? Well, it was Twitter, now it's X.
Right.
I don't have Twitter.
Yeah, that's cool. How
Instagram,
just how do you want
yes,
people to
whatever.
keep up with you?
My Instagram is Kaya Crooke. No spaces, just Kaya Crooke. That's what I'm on. I'm on
Uh,
that Instagram. I think I have Facebook too. Also Kaya Crooke. All my social media stuff is just Kaya Crooke.
Sounds great. Well,
Great.
we wish you the best of luck with
Thank
both of
you.
those records. That long jump record's a little over 20 feet.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah,
coming
it's
for
just, it's just a little bit over
Yes.
20.
We're looking forward to it for sure.
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Kaya.
Thanks. See you soon.
Bye.
See you
Yeah,
soon. Right.
we'll see you soon.
All
See
right.
ya.
Bye.